If you see my Rare Disease Awareness Day video, you might know that I was diagnosed with vasculitis in my first term of uni. After that first term of uni, I made the decision to intercalate, which basically means to take the year out of university because of an illness, or some people take it out for different studies or something. So really it just means that you're gonna restart again a year or two later. At first, I was sort of hesitant to taking a year out because I thought it would be a total waste of a year to go to university and then not complete it and then have to restart again. But eventually it seemed like the only logical answer because I'd missed out so much work and I needed a lot of time out to recover. I remember when I was dropping out of uni, I looked online to see if anyone else had done a similar thing, and I couldn't find many blog posts or videos about it, and I remember thinking that I was all alone in the decision. Then when I got to university again the next year, I talked to lots of people and it made me realise that it's sort of a normal thing to do, and so I thought I'd make a video of my experience so that there was something else out there, so anyone who's making the decision now or who has just made the decision might not feel that alone about it. So first of all, the actual process of dropping out of uni was really simple. I talked to my university, my English department and student finance, and they were all fine with it. They were really understanding and they just wanted me to recover and get well. Don't be nervous about talking to these people because they're prepared for situations like this. Lots of other students have done it, so they know what to do. At this time I just started to come to terms with my illness because it was all a new thing to me, and so I was beginning to accept that I needed a lot of time to recover. And so instead of taking the year out to get a job or something, I decided to focus my time on resting and looking after myself and getting used to the different treatments and medications that I'd have. Whilst I do think this was best for me, the downside was that I'd spend a lot of time in the house. Initially I'd get used to sort of being a bit of a hermit crab and feeling a bit rubbish about myself, especially when you have friends at uni who are doing so well. You sort of feel like you're stuck back in your hometown. So it's really easy to get down, and there were some days when I'd just feel really down about it. But what really helped me through that was building up a routine. I just tell myself to take it one day at a time, and every day I'd go on a walk or something, or anything to get outside, and that would really help being out in the fresh air and getting some sun as well. And so I think that routine really helped me from going completely stir crazy. Also during that year I feel like I really got back a sense of what I enjoyed, because I had no academic pressures to read certain books or films, and so I spent a lot of time reading what would make me happy and inspired. So that year at home, whilst it was difficult, taught me a lot about how important it is to help your body and your mind rest. Then I was due to restart in September 2013. What made me nervous about coming back was getting back into education and making new friends. I was worried about the work in case I'd forgotten how to be a student, and I was worried about making friends because my body felt a lot older than it used to be as opposed to that of a young 18-year-old. And I still found nights out incredibly tiring, and so I was worried how that might compromise my friend making in Freshers Week, which is mainly a week of going out. But these are worries which went away as soon as I got to uni. First of all, I realised that first year work at university is intended to get students used to university, and so a first year course is designed to get you up to a university standard anyway. And secondly, in terms of friend making, I made loads of friends on my course and through different societies, and so I realised it's not all based around Freshers Week. Another thing I was worried about was going back to the campus itself, because in my first term I'd spent so much time locked up in my room because I was too unwell to go out, and at the time I wasn't sleeping because of the joint pain and I just feel really down. So I was a bit worried about that putting a downer on things, but when I restarted I really realised that it was a fresh start and that I didn't have to worry about what had happened in the past, but I could just carry on and actually make some progress in this new year. So taking a year out wasn't all bad, and also considering that at university you have to make lots of conversation because you're making new friends, it provided a good conversational topic. So how come you took a year out of uni? Or took a gap year? I was pregnant. I was hired by the MI5. I was a secret agent and there was a secret mission which I had to complete for a full year, which no one can know about. And now you know. And now I have to kill you. So, if I could travel back in time and tell myself anything in preparation for that year off, I'd probably go and visit my uni friends more. I sort of wanted to avoid uni for a while because I thought I'd just feel really down going to see everyone when they were enjoying their first year. The great thing was that I got to live with my first year flatmates in my second year, so we sort of got to catch up on lost time, so I guess it wasn't all bad. But if I could change anything, and this is getting very 13 going on 30 here, I wouldn't. I I found the year really useful because if I just carried on being ill at uni, I know I wouldn't have done as well, and I wouldn't be happy with the effort that I'd made because I wouldn't be able to make that effort. And also I learned a lot about how important it is to look after yourself and let yourself rest because you do need it. So yeah, that was my year off. It was a very unorganised video, but I hope you found it useful in any way. And if you're making the decision now, don't worry about missing out a year because universities are used to it and you'll be given plenty of help to catch up, but also think about what's best for you. Well, that was serious. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Europe.
You're a poo.
No, you're a poo.
Ha ha ha.